What's going on, everyone? So Max Christie is back from injury, and he is much needed at this time, right? A legit 3-and-D style guy that can come in and defend multiple players, hit the open shot, even kind of make some plays for himself. We've seen his ability to kind of score at all three levels. He's not elite yet. He's not quite like that guy that you can just give the ball to and he could just take over. But look, the kid is extremely young. I mean, literally a kid. He is just turned 21 years old on February 10th. He has so much room, so much growth, so much potential. Out of like everybody on this roster, Max Christie is the guy I'm most high on. I think worst case scenario with Max Christie, I think he's going to be like a premier 3-and-D in this league. I think best case scenario, he's like a smaller Paul George, a guy that can defend multiple positions at a high level, hit difficult shots, which we've seen his ability to do that already, and then also hit the open three, basically score from anywhere. And, on the surface, right, he doesn't have like these stats that are just like jumping out at the page at you because he's on a limited role, right? He's limited minutes. I mean, there was even questions and talks about would he even crack the rotation at all this year? And the fact that he's played even as much as he has, I mean, you could look at it one of two ways. You could look at it as one, a lot of it is probably due to injury, and two, a lot of it has been, his play, right? He is a valuable piece. So far this season, 46 games he's played, 7 games he started, 17 minutes he's averaged. He's shooting 42.3% from the field on 4.3 attempts, 35% from 3 on 2.1 attempts. He's not great yet at the top of the key arc area of the 3-point line. The corner 3 he's actually been very good at, but he is shooting a hair, literally a hair, under 50% from 2-point range, which is good. That pull-up, that mid-range has been better. His free throw percentage has dropped this season. Needs to do a better job with free throws, although he's averaging just, again, a hair less than 1 free throw attempt per game. 2.6 rebounds, 1.1 assists, a half steal, half a block, 5 points. Right? Again, nothing that really jumps out on the page. But a lot of it has been his role, his minutes, and kind of like what he's asked to do out there on the basketball court. It's kind of more of just like, hey, you're going to get maybe 3 shots a game, but you're more out there just for defensive purposes, defensive assignments. And he's done a great job of holding his own. I mean, there is a real argument for, one, him to get significant minutes, and 2, maybe even kind of like test him with the starting unit at some point. Again, I do have my concerns with Max Christie, and we'll dive into that here in a moment. But just like looking at the guard rotation, you have D'Lo and Reeves in the starting unit. I have my concerns about the current starting 5, right, of D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, and AD. I really concern myself with the lack of athleticism in that regard. Like, look at the Phoenix Suns game. A lot of the rebounds that Phoenix was getting on the offensive side of the glass were because we just don't have the foot speed in the starting unit to go track those balls down, right? We're just not quick enough. You talk about D'Lo and Reeves, who aren't very quick. They're kind of flat-footed. Same thing with Rui Hachimura. Also, Rui is best at the 4. All of Rui's big games all come at the 4 spot, right? Like, all of them. He just set his career high when LeBron was out and he was playing the 4. He's not great at the 3. He's not great at navigating screens. So there is an argument to be made of like, okay, do you remove Rui from the starting unit because LeBron has to play the 4? Do you maybe swap those two, right? Maybe put LeBron at 3, Rui at the 4. Austin Reeves still has kind of been the targeted guy, right? So there's even an argument to be made of like maybe we get some more athleticism out in that backcourt, and maybe you go with like a D'Lo and a Max Christie. But even if you don't, like let's say you don't change anything, you just leave it the way it is, right? I do have questions of, does Max Christie play when Gabe Vincent returns, if Gabe Vincent returns? We still are waiting around for an update in that regard. Although last we heard, based on reports, at least at the time of recording this video, obviously again, at any moment, anything could drop. But last we heard is that Gabe Vincent early to mid-March is when he's expected to return. So the question is, when Gabe gets back, does Max Christie even get any minutes? Right? Does he even actually earn a rotation spot at that point? Not against him and his talents, but it's just you probably want to go with the veteran guys. You're trying to win some games, which we'll dive into more on the cons or concerns with Christie. But right now, I don't hate the idea of that 4-guard rotation of D'Lo, Reeves, and then Spencer Dinwiddie with Max Christie, right? And the thing is that I think is odd is Darvin Ham has talked, especially after the Suns game in which he played so few minutes, right? One, it didn't make any sense what he said. He was like, Anthony Davis got hurt, so it had me play Max Christie later than I wanted to. What does Anthony Davis have to do with you playing or not playing Max Christie? Make that make sense to me. It's just odd. But again, Darvin Ham hasn't been a model of coaching excellence, right? So it's just odd. But again, Max Christie, he only played 5 minutes. Another thing was that Darvin Ham talked about how, he's trying to find that balance of minutes for Spencer Dinwiddie and Max Christie. What is there to balance, right? Again, one of the things that drives me crazy about Spencer Dinwiddie is he has no role. And I don't mean Spencer Dinwiddie, him, the player. I mean the way he is being utilized, the way that Darvin Ham is operating Spencer Dinwiddie. The whole reason and point we landed Spencer Dinwiddie was because we needed athleticism, we needed playmaking, we needed somebody that could score the basketball at the guard position. Spencer Dinwiddie solves all of those issues, yet you just have him relegated to being a corner 3-point shooter. That is not Spencer Dinwiddie's game. To me, keep your starting 5 if you want. Again, I have my concerns about it, but I've talked about that heavily in other videos, so we're not going to go into it in this video. But let's say you want to keep your starting 5. Okay, D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, AD. Great. Well, now your bench 5, again, momentarily, we'll see if Cam Reddish and guys come back. But even if Reddish does come back, your bench 5 could be Spencer Dinwiddie, Max Christie, Cam Reddish, Taurean Prince, and Jackson Hayes. There's your 10-man roster. And you could easily just throw in Christie, throw in Dinwiddie together, right? Let D'Lo and Reeves get some rest, get a break, and now you're running Dinwiddie. Put the ball in Dinwiddie's hands. Let him be the point guard. Let Max Christie be the 2-guard. And you'd probably have some really good defense off the bench, right? Spencer Dinwiddie can get after on the defense side. Right? He's had his struggles this season, but he's actually been better for the Lakers thus far. Granted, small sample size, we'll see. But even with just Spencer Dinwiddie and Max Christie's athleticism, just those two things alone would be such a great look and upgrade compared to Austin Reeves and D'Lo, right? And then you can even scatter them, right? Have D'Lo with Christie, have D'Lo with Spence, have Spence with Reeves, have Christie with Reeves, right? There's so many different things you could do with these 4 guards in the rotation. Now, my concern with Christie, diving into that, which again, it's not a knock on him, but my biggest concern is he just turned 21, right? And he's in year 2. He's learning the ins and outs. He's still, for the most part, playing on just raw, pure talent and just instincts and whatnot especially on the defensive side of things. He's going to continue. I mean, this guy is young enough to be drafted in this year's coming draft, the draft that we're going to have, in a few months. Right? He just turned 21 years old. So he has a ton of room, ton of potential, ton of growth. This is a guy that I do believe you can grow and develop, and he's going to learn and grasp that understanding. And we saw the strides he took from year 1 to year 2. He's clearly an NBA player. He is a guy that you can make a genuine argument to be in the rotation. And his shot, again, that'll continue to improve. That'll continue to grow. His feel, his instincts, that'll continue to improve. That'll continue to grow. But he still does make a lot of 21-year-old mistakes and questions, right? He's still not great at fighting through and around screens. He sometimes, will duck screens rather than going over, or vice versa. He'll kind of go over screens, duck screens, right? He needs to get that feel, that understanding. Sometimes he gambles a little much, and sometimes he's a little out of position, so he ends up getting beat. There's things, even the discipline, right? He'll be in a game and all of a sudden he just will get like back-to-back fouls. And you're like, come on, Max. And again, it's not a knock on him. It's just, it's what you need to learn through the process. It's part of being drafted in the league and then having to adjust and adapt to actual NBA level talent, right? Like even look at a guy like Jared Vanderbilt, right? Jared Vanderbilt just recently, within the last 2 years or so, maybe even a year and a half, really became an elite level, just top tier defensive guy. The instincts and the skills were always there. He was always a very good defensive player, but he didn't become into this, is he the best on-ball perimeter defender in the league type Jared Vanderbilt until, the last, like I said, about year and a half, 2 years. Well, he's 24. So he's 3 years older. He's going to be 25 in April. He's literally 3 years older than Max, 4 years older than Max Christie. So, again, it took Jared Vanderbilt, 3-4 years of just learning and understanding the positioning and understanding okay, this is how I need to play. This is where I need to be. This is how, those type of things. It took him, a handful of years to get it. Max Christie will be the same thing. And then you're going to have Jared Vanderbilt and Max Christie terrorizing opposing teams. That's going to be great. I can't wait to see it. But again, I don't think he's there yet. And my concern is, how much can you rely on him and lean on him come the postseason, right? In the regular season, definitely. I think you can keep him in the rotation. He can definitely get some minutes. I don't think he's going to be a negative asset out there. But I do, getting into the postseason and stuff, how does that look? But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you like Max Christie? Think that he should move into the starting unit? Do you think no? Keep him in the bench unit? Do you think he should get heavy minutes? Do you think no? Again, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.